Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dear Dance. I am so excited for today's guest. I have Kevin Garcia, which that's not his full name. I'm going to have him say his beautiful full name for you because I will butcher it, but he is an absolutely stunning dancer. He's originally from the Canary Islands in Spain, so cool. And he is now currently living in New York dancing for, let me not butcher it, Les Ballet Trocadero de Monte Carlo, which you also might know as the Trucks. You definitely have seen them, even if you don't recognize my butchering of their name. Literally iconic company, ballet company, men in pointe shoes, stunning. He is just the sweetest human and the most beautiful turner and dancer that I've ever seen. I'm so excited to talk with him, and our craft is so cute. I'm really excited. So, enough of me blabbing along. Let me share a video, little compilation of some beautiful little snippets of you get to see his beautiful dancing. So here we go. I'm obsessed. I love it. Okay, enough of me blabbing. Let's bring him on with a big round of applause. Let me get this going. Hello, hello.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome. Okay, before we get
Thank
going,
you.
tell everyone your absolutely beautiful name, your full name, and I'm just gonna
Okay.
heart eyes while you say it.
My full name is Cristo Kevin Garcia Montagut. That's my full name.
That's famous. I'm obsessed. I love it. Amazing. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. The
My
craft for
pleasure.
today. So, you have quite a lot of old point shoes because you go through them a
Yeah.
lot being in a ballet company. And I have a lot that I've been neglecting. So I thought it might be fun, as if we're those famous prima ballerinas who sell their shoes encrusted with diamonds for millions of dollars. We're gonna kind of
Uh-huh.
decorate some point shoes and see what happens. Just let the creativity flow. And while we do this, if we're capable of multitasking, I would love to hear a little bit about your journey all the way from Spain to America and how
Hmm.
you even got involved in dance.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, my glue gun is over here. So I'm going to just jump out of the screen, but I'm here with
Okay.
you.
Okay. Do you want me to start?
Yes, go for it. Tell me
Okay.
your life story.
So I started dancing in the Canary Islands when I was 3 years old, many moons ago. And I just started dancing in a local studio. In the primary school that I was at, um, I was having the opportunity to go to just dance, random dance classes that they weren't necessarily like ballet. It was just more like a recreational um, dance, let's say. But then when I was around 8 years old, um, I studied in the regional conservatory in Spain, which is not it's not like an official school from the government or an institution, but it's a big school in the Canary Islands. And then when I was 17, in my teenage years, I moved to Madrid because I started dancing in the Conservatory of Dance Carmen Amaya, which is kind of like the national ballet school. Gonna drink water.
Yes, go for
Mm,
it.
stay hydrated. Um, and then I graduated at 22. When I was 22, I graduated in 2014, and then I moved to America. And in America, in New York City, I only live in New York, and I did the certificate program of Peridens Capezio Center for a year and a half, prior to me joining Ballet Trocadero, which is being my home for the past 6 years, I believe, almost, with pandemic and all.
Right. That's amazing. So, when you started dancing, were you sold with ballet only, like ballet was your love, or did you think about doing like all the tap, jazz, theater, world stuff?
That's the thing, that even though in the Canary Islands we didn't have as much access to the outside world of dance, we didn't really know what was out there. For some reason, classical music was always something that attracted me a lot, and I was always fascinated by it. So I guess I didn't had a choice, kind of, because also in Europe, something that I like about America that we don't have in Europe a lot is that you guys here in local studios or in major schools, unless you go to an institution like a School of American Ballet or something like that, you do touch bases with every style. But we don't normally in Europe. Once you choose a school, you go and you dance ballet. In my case, I dance ballet all my life, and other people choose to go to a contemporary school or jazz school. But um, it's rarely the school that teach all the styles as they do here in America, which I found really interesting once I moved here, because all my friends were like, "Oh, I know how to do tap, jazz, ballet, lyrical, all that." And I was like, "Well, I'm a ballerina. Like, I know how to wear a tutu. I don't know."
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, it's I've been always fascinated ballet, and I feel that by no choice, but by choice in the future, my future life, I did chose ballet over everything. I love ballet. I feel that it's part of myself.
Yeah. Did you always think, like, when you started to train at like such a serious level, was the goal like always to be in a company? And did you have like dream companies and things that you thought you might end up doing,
Yeah.
or how did that like vision happen?
So what happened is that in my school, obviously, we have as a reference American Ballet Theater because of Angel Corella and Joaquin de Luz, like all these like Spanish dancers from back in the day that they like made dance accessible to us in a way. Um, and what happened is that that was the only company that I barely knew. Like AVT was for me like, oh, I want to be in AVT. But then something that is kind of like not sad, but whatever, is that in Spain, in Europe in general, to be a ballet dancer, you are required to have certain kind of body. It's not enough to be skinny. You need to have certain height as a man and certain length in your legs and certain measurements in your body
Yeah.
that are required just to get into a school, even sometimes.
Yeah,
And
it's
I didn't.
crazy that it's
So,
still like that to this day. It seems very like archaic to like,
mhm,
like they measure like the distance of this to this and like just craziness. It's crazy that this still happens, but
yeah. And I feel that because of that, because I don't have the appropriate body to dance ballet back in the day, I kind of like gave up that dream. But then when I was 12 years old, the Trocadero came to the Canary Islands on tour. And I always was fascinated by tutus, tiaras, pink tights, ponchos, the whole female variations and stuff. So when they came and I saw that company, I finally found a place that I thought, oh, that can be my place to be, because I can actually do what I want to do with my dancing. And the good thing about the trucks is that we have all kind of bodies and sizes and everything. So to my eyes as a kid, it was way more open in terms of like possibilities of what I could achieve. And since then, I that was just my dream company, and I just
wow.
went for it.
That's amazing. So by 12 years old, you were like
hmm
you knew, and clearly that was it. That was the path that you were meant to be on, and that is
Yeah,
So cool. How many people can say that, like, their dream as a 12-year-old has come true? That's
yeah.
absolutely
I
amazing.
feel
And I'm
pretty
sure that that
fortunate.
was so much work to get there. I mean, just coming to Perry Dance, doing the training program here. How did you end up auditioning and getting seen by them? And how was that process of getting into the company?
So my first audition with the company, I was like 19 years old, and I never wore a poncho in my life. So I was just like jigging around in the stage, you know what I mean? Like trying to take ballet class, um, which is a complete different um, dancing. Like you can be amazing on demi point, and then you put the ponchos on, and it's like another whole level of like
Oh,
gravity that
yeah.
you weren't aware. And as a man, I didn't know that you can get that high, you know? So it was like really wow. Um, but I auditioned for them when I was 19, and they told me like, you know, you're cute, you're 19, go home, train, you know? And
Mm.
then my last year, in the school, my director and several teachers of the school, they finally, I talked to them. You know, I wasn't a teenager, so I told them, like, listen, I know that I'm never gonna be in Paris Opera Ballet, and I don't wanna kill myself to be frustrated in the future because I didn't made it. So I wanna create my own path, and Trocadero is the path that I want. So will you guys help me? So they allowed me to take ponchos class with the girls, like variation, partnering, and all of that. They splitted my schedule so I could do both. And that was basically what it made me have the technique that I have today, because I feel that it's complicated to go from dancing male roles all the time to being the sugar plum fairy. It's like complete different spectrum, you know?
Yeah, and like the sense of like the weight of it. Like I
Yeah,
feel like in male variations and male ballet, it's very much like I'm a man. I'm in the floor
yeah,
unless I'm flipping around in the air. And then the whole like pointers, it's supposed to be like effortless, light and dainty. That
Canary,
must have
yeah.
been such a difference, but so cool to be able to go into both worlds and like how amazing to have that under your belt. Do you have any favorite variations that you've either gotten to do or would love to do on point or not on
Um,
point?
I guess anything balancing is my jam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really balancing based trained. I think that balancing was a discoverment in my life that I was like, okay, I wish I was 15 and I could come to SIV, you know, because um maybe I would have been in Lincoln Center by now. But because that didn't happen, I get to do the trucks. And I don't know anything balancing like Tchaikovsky Padede, the variation, the Padede in general. But I have done pretty cool things in the company. Um, right now we are working in Rashufe Brillant, which is a parody of Allegro
Ooh,
Brillante from Balanchine.
okay.
We do a lot of Paquita, Swan Lake. Swan
Classic.
Lake, it's not that it's not my favorite, it's just really hard on the body.
Yeah.
So if I have to choose, I will not choose that one, but
Yeah.
it's really
What
pretty.
what
But
parts in Swan Lake have you done?
I have done the pas de trois in the company as a boy in the
Uh-huh.
male role, and then I have done the Swan Lake core of the second act. That's
Hmm.
normally one of our opening ballets of the nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So, what is like your daily life look like being in a company and like traveling, whether you're rehearsing, like
Uh huh.
what is that like for someone who might not know the life of a company dancer in a ballet company?
Mm-hmm. So normally in rehearsal period, we have rehearsals from like 10 to 6 or 11 to 4, depending on the studio where we are at. Normally it's like 8 hours a day, but normally I wake up, I binge TV with my cereal and my coffee. Um, I don't do nothing. I just like take a hot shower to, you know, make the muscles fluffy, and then I put on my leotard and pink tights, and I choose my outfit of the day because I have like
So many
all my things
gorgeous
like
outfits.
in a store. I like to have them like that because I can like choose every morning.
Yeah.
But then after I do that, I just go to rehearsal, and normally we always rehearse like 4 ballets a day. So we do 2 ballets, and then we take a 45-minute break, and then we rehearse another 2 ballets, and then sometimes if we have time extra, we rehearse things for the future tours that are not for the upcoming events, but like maybe they are for the UK tour in the fall or whatever. So that's what we do. And then I come home, and normally I sit in the couch for like half an hour to like contemplate my life. And then I start moving, and I do, chores, and I make sure that my house is clean, and I do dinner. Um, Once in a while, a little glass of wine is always good. And on tour, pretty much, fortunately, we have in every city that we go, we arrive the day before the show. And the day of the show, we have the morning off, and then we go to the theater. And then after we go to the theater, we have warm up class for an hour. And then we have a spacing and notes from the show before or whatever. And then we have a little bit of a rehearsal. And then we have 1 hour and a half to do our makeup. And then after that, we do the show. And after the show, um if I'm extremely tired, I just like eat whatever is on the way, and I go to bed, or I go and hang out with my coworkers. We are not a super big company, so we always get to hang out together after the shows and have fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how big is the company? How many of you guys are there in the group?
We are 17 people normally.
Okay, so everyone pretty much knows everyone. Is it like a big
Oh,
family? Like, just,
it's a big dysfunctional family.
yeah.
Absolutely. It's like brothers and sisters, and sometimes you hate everybody, sometimes you love everybody, and then it's kind of like the brothers, like um I can talk whatever, but nobody can talk about you. Like I
Right.
always defend my pips, that's for sure.
Yeah, I love that. And have you guys been able to perform again in since this craziness of the world? Have you guys been back
Yeah.
on tour and performing?
Yeah, we actually started in December. We performed at the Joyce. Unfortunately, we had 3 weeks scheduled, but we had to cancel 2 of them because of the urge of the new variant.
Mm.
But after that, we have been touring since January in the US. Now, next week, we are leaving again for 10 days to tour in the Midwest. And then after that, we are heading to Europe, to Spain, Portugal, and then after that, we're supposed to come back, and then we're going to Japan for a month. Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool. Are you going to get to go to the Canary Islands and see your
Hmm.
hometown? That is so special. Oh my
Yeah, I
gosh.
finally, after 2 years, I'm gonna be able to see my family because I got stuck here and I didn't saw anybody. So yeah,
Oh,
I already booked my tickets and everything. Like I think we finish Portugal in May 9th, and that same day I'm taking a red eye flight to go to my home. I'm like, I'm not even waiting the night. I'm like literally finishing at the theater and
off
I'm
the
gone.
stage,
Bye.
point shoes in the hand,
Oh,
on the plane.
the lashes song. I'm gonna go in full drag to to
I love
the
it. I love
plane. Yeah.
it. Amazing. Well, I've been talking your ear off, so I don't know how much crafting of your pointer you've been able to do. Mine
Two
is
pedals.
mine is kind of scary looking. I thought that this would be good. I did kind of like these
Oh, I
dots,
love that.
but the glitter is a little big. And then I did like some
Uh-huh.
squiggles, but you can't really tell because the glitter pieces are so big. It's a little scary. So I don't think I'll be making millions reselling these shoes. But I love your pedal idea. I feel like that is like
Yeah, I'm just gonna put
so
pedals
beautiful.
all around and let's see
I
what
love that.
happens.
Do you have to do any of like I know you mentioned doing your makeup for the show. Is that
Uh-huh.
something that like it's really involved for a lot of it, right? Like you guys don't just do like the basic kind of stage makeup, like it's a production, right?
Yeah, we do a full drag makeup, like cover the eyebrows, create a fake eyebrow,
With
do
the
the whole
glue,
eye
do you
look.
use
Yes.
glue?
We use the Elmer's purple glue that dries clear. against the hair, with the hair. Yeah, we do the whole entire thing. And it's funny because a lot of people sometimes I have been told like, oh, you guys like have a makeup artist that come with you guys, and I'm like, no, we actually do our own makeup. We are, I mean, we are sponsored by MAC Cosmetics. Um, but unfortunately, like, you know, some things they don't have, or some things they just don't work for drag makeup, so we have to like spend our own money sometimes, because I mean, you can use whatever they give you and look okay, but I'm a makeup artist, so it's kind of like I'm forced to look right.
Yeah. You
So
don't
I
want to
need to
do it
buy.
like halfway. You
Yeah,
want to do the
I
full real thing.
exactly. I'm like forced to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Because also
Well,
it's for myself, it's to feel
yeah.
more real, to feel more
Yeah. And if you
ethereal.
feel beautiful, if you feel like, I feel like that's so much like putting on the outfit for ballet, or like getting in your, it's like a costume of confidence. And like when you feel like you look
Hmm.
good, you're going to dance better. You're going to be like your best self. So
Exactly.
I,
I
I,
always say
I
that if
feel
I
that.
feel good with my makeup and my bun is right, I can do a great
So
performance.
you have to add like fake hair, like a fake bun into your
Yeah,
hair.
we actually use a full wig. It's like a center part wig, and it comes down, and you have to do your bun like a real ballerina. Like it's a whole, um,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
like it's the whole thing. Like you do your ponytail, and you do your pun, and your bun head pins, and the hairnet, and the headpiece, and the earrings, and yeah, it's a whole
I love
situation.
it. I love it. Amazing. Well, it's time for our first game. Let me get my little. Would you rather?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get our questions. And if you're watching
Okay.
live or if you're watching the replay, definitely comment and let us know what you would pick. We can see your comments and we can share them on the screen, which is really cool. So let's see what we get. Okay. Would you rather get bitten by a dog every time you go outside, or have a spider appear on your head every time you get dressed?
Beaten by a dog.
Yeah. Because you have to get dressed a lot. Like, imagine
Yeah.
every quick change, and then you're like, quick change, spider. Like,
Oh
no.
no, 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 ma'am.
In the
No, no,
bun, in the
spiders.
wig. Oh, no. Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Oh no, no, that wouldn't be good.
Okay, next one. Would you rather have a giraffe neck or have to wear wet socks inside dry shoes every single day?
Oh, a giraffe neck, hands down. Wet
Yeah.
socks, ew.
Yeah.
Mm-mm,
Oh, and then if
no.
you had to wear wet socks in your point shoes, like it would ruin them
Mm,
so fast. Ugh.
mm-hmm.
And just like the squishy, oh, like a squish squish. No,
No,
I don't like it.
no, we don't like that. We don't like that.
Okay, last one of these. Ooh, would you rather wear the same piece of unwashed underwear for the rest of your life, or be invisible to everyone forever? That's hard.
I guess to wear the underwear, because I mean, if the underwear is not is ew, but you are clean, you
Yeah, and they
know.
didn't say like you can't shower in the underwear. Like you're
Exactly.
not washing the underwear, but like it might get washed.
Yeah, it might get washed
Like you
magically.
you can't control if the underwear gets washed. Like it's not your problem. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. The
Amazing.
underwear. I choose the underwear.
Yeah, okay, I support you. So, I would love to talk a little bit about your interests outside of dance, outside of
Uh-huh.
ballet, because I know you have so many and you've been up to a lot of really cool things. So, tell me all about your passions outside of dance.
So I have a lot actually. I feel that a lot of one thing that a lot of people don't know about me is that I love computers and I love programming. So I do spend a lot of time digging into computer programs and stuff like that. That's something that like entertains me a lot, and like actually was something that I was like contemplating on doing like school wise during the pandemic, because I feel that it's like just interesting to me. But also like I started my blog on November because a good friend of mine, he's a travel writer, and he kind of commented with me like the possibility of like why I didn't do that. You know, I already travel for a living, so I already have that part covered, you know. And I like writing. I have like tons of journals writing, and I hopped into it, and I guess like those are my passions. Apart from makeup is something that fascinate me. Um Even though I'm not certified or anything, but I have done some jobs as a makeup artist, and then I just love sitting in my vanity when I have like time off and just like playing with like eyeshadow palettes that I have all over my room, and like yeah, I have way more makeup that I should have for sure.
I
That
love
for sure.
that. I always look at those beautiful, like, ombre eyeshadow looks, and I'm like, so gorgeous. And then if I try to do like even the most basic thing, it looks just like a rainbow like ran over my face in a car. It's like, oh God, it's such a skill and such an art. So I need
It's
all the
just
help I can get.
playing with it. If you
Yeah.
play with it, you end up getting it because it's. I mean, it's not super easy, but it's not like rocket science.
Yeah, true, true. So, what kind of things do you work on your blog with? I know that you focus a lot on travel and like what kind of stuff have you been able to start writing about, especially now that you're back on the road and traveling? What have been some of like your favorite stories that you've gotten to share?
Um, I do a lot of, for example, like hotels that I visit with the company. Normally, sometimes we go. I mean, we go to a lot of like Holiday Inn in the middle of nowhere, which is like an okay hotel. It's like fine, but you know, it's not like you don't get into the lobby and it's like luxurious, you know. But
Yeah.
sometimes we get to go to some places around the world that I'm like I think like the year before the pandemic, we went to Thailand, and we went to this like festival dance festival, and they brought us to this like 5-star hotel. And I remember like all of us getting into the hotel kind of like intimidated because it's kind of like the Plaza Hotel, you know, that you get in there and you
Yeah.
feel out of
I
place.
don't belong. Yeah.
So yeah, I talk mostly about hotels and about like makeup finds, things that I buy that I feel that are interesting for people to know. Because one thing that I'm really advocate of is to be good at makeup, and like getting your hands on makeup in an affordable way to get the same results that buying expensive or high end brands. Because obviously, as a dancer and ballerina and makeup artist, like, you know, I don't have tons of millions of dollars to go to Sephora and like swipe the card. So it's always good to find alternatives that don't they do the same job, the same result, and it's maybe not just as pretty packaging as other brands might have, you know.
Yeah.
So because I think that sometimes we pay more for the packagings than for the actual product.
Yeah,
um
definitely.
so that's basically what I talked about, and then like story times of things that happen on tour, or um, anytime that I have a debut with a piece, I always try to write about it. I wrote an article about my debut as a principal in the Sylphide, and you know, like important moments in my career. I like to write about them to like, you know,
Yeah.
tell people that things can happen.
I love that. And especially just like, I know that being a man in ballet, and then especially a man in ballet doing point work, which is a
Mhm.
very small number of people, and being a man in dance in general, it can be really difficult. It can be really like, not always, especially growing up, people can be really cruel for having a passion about dance. So I feel like
Yeah.
writing your blog and like if that can reach some people, that's so incredible and like inspire like younger generations. I think it's so valuable and sharing stories and and just trying to reach as many people to inspire them and show them that like your 12-year-old dream that you had can come true. And like, who
Yeah.
cares what anyone says about you, because I know it can be really hard in that
I
industry.
mean, I always say the same thing about this kind of like social media. Obviously, I was born in the 90s, so social media is not something that I was accustomed to until I was like, older. And but I do feel that sometimes I know that I don't have many followers, or and I know that maybe I'm never gonna become a celebrity in the dance world, but I feel that for me personally, if I can just reach one person and I'm gonna change that person's life because of my path and my story, for me it's just enough. And I do have sometimes like little kids, that they are living in cities that are a little bit less progressive, and they're like, oh my god, I wish I could do that, and it feels really good and encouraging for me to just like encourage them to be like, follow your dreams, make sure that you do it because you want to, and do what you want. I feel that it's interesting for me to see the amount of people that will write you out of nowhere, asking you for tips and asking you for, like, the National Ballet School, for example, in Spain, the conservatory, they call me all the time like, hey, we have this guy that he wants to do point, but he's intimidated. Here is his number, could you talk to him, he's really good, blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I love doing things like that because unfortunately, I had a lot of support of my family and friends and teachers, but when it came down to dance on point and dancing female roles, it was something a little bit more taboo, and I didn't have that kind of support. So I love giving that support as somebody that went through the same thing.
Yeah. What is it like in the male dance world when you want to dance on point? Is it usually like a, I feel like I can't know because I'm not a man in ballet, but I can imagine that there might be like some sort of like, this is us, like some sort of like alpha male vibe sometimes,
Yeah,
depending on that. Is that something that is kind of difficult when you decide that you like, do you, I guess my question is, do you ever feel like you get boxed in by your own people of like,
yeah,
well, you dance on point, so like you're not able to do these other things now, or like stuff like that?
yeah.
Is that
I
something that
mean,
you guys deal with?
normally, I have to say that even though Trocadero has given me a platform for the rest of my career, and like, and I feel pretty fortunate to be part of that institution, it's true that sometimes, it's a little bit more difficult to get jobs outside of it. Like, for example, when Nutcracker season come around and everybody, wants to dance Nutcrackers and make the coins, because it's the money maker in America. It's
Yeah.
difficult sometimes for me to get a main role, because to get a role period, because they don't see you as a woman, but they don't see you as a man, because they see you,
Mm,
because in social media I show myself dancing on point with tutus. I don't show myself dancing Basilio from Don Quixote. So
right.
they think that that's the only thing that you know how to dance. And as a male dancer growing up, it was the same thing, but the opposite. It was kind of like,
Yeah.
mm, you are a man, you have to dance this, and you have to dance this way, and this is the only way that you can dance. And I got criticized a lot when I was growing up because I was so really feminine dancing, and I had teachers put me in a room and being like, you need to snap out of it, like you need to become more masculine, and like being yeah, in a way oppressed, because I couldn't be myself within my art form, which is the place that you go because you can be yourself for a lot of people.
Yes, it's really interesting because I feel like there's so many places in the dance world that are becoming more open, more fluid,
Hmm.
more accepting of different pronouns and different, like now you're seeing classes where they don't say the male group and the female group, they say like any kind of like, just like
Yeah.
people who are over this side of the room, and or like maybe doing like a like whoever wants to do the masculine style go here and the feminine style. And but it's interesting that ballet is so kind of, can be so stuck in its old ancient ways. And
Uh-huh.
it's
Exactly.
like there's so much like magical, beautiful contemporary ballet coming out, and really like interesting, creative, like new stuff. But then there's still that like undercurrent of like the whole I mean, being a male dancer in ballet just must be a whole mind crazy thing, because it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Like, being a male ballerina is like not masculine, but then in the ballet world, if you want to dance on point, then you're not masculine. But
Yeah,
it's like, wow, like, why can't people just dance? Like, isn't that like, we love dance? Isn't that what
yeah.
it should be about? It's really crazy that that's still in 2022 something that we have to fight for.
It's crazy sometimes because like even I take a lot of like open classes, you know what I mean? And I go to steps all the time. And I remember when I moved to America and I started like going, or when I joined the company mostly is when I started going there more frequently to take classes. And at the beginning I felt really intimidated to like take class on point because I was like, oh my God, all these girls and all these guys from ABT and New York City Ballet, they're looking at me, whatever. And I felt so intimidated and judged because I just wanted to I had to like train on point because I was about to do 32 footes on a stage the day after. Like, sorry, not
Yeah.
sorry, like you train on your pirouettes and your jumps. I gotta do footes, so this is what it
Yeah.
is. And then I don't know. I think like little by little, I feel that one of the things that I learned in America and mostly New York City, I feel that that's a good lesson from New York is to not care. Like I really don't care about what people think about me, and this is the life that I chose, and I'm happy with it. So if you think that this is not a good life, well, you have two problems, Um, like it's not my
Yeah.
battle to fight. It's like I know where I stand, I know where I feel comfortable, and I know what my comfort zone is. And I like jumping, but I just don't like jumping on black tights. I like jumping on pink tights, and that's my journey.
I love it. No, I think it's so important to shed light on that and to just share that experience, because it is such, the ballet world is such a world, and like,
Mhm.
there's so much that has been, I know I saw some post recently, this is like unrelated. I saw something on Instagram where it was about like, just because your teachers and the way you were taught
Mhm.
like hurt you doesn't mean that you should go ahead and hurt the next generation. Like, we need to stop this. And I feel like ballet has such a deep cycle of just like, there's that under yuckiness. Like, there's the beautiful, beautiful, expressive, freeing part of ballet.
Yeah.
And then there's just that other part that is like, oh, I wish it wasn't there. And so I think it's so important for people, especially seeing you and having you put yourself out there, creating the blog and just reaching out to people and having the company just go around the whole world, especially to places that might not even be as open to seeing men doing
Yeah.
feminine things. Like, that in the world is such a scandalous thing for some places in the world, which is still so wild. So it's just like really great. And I feel like it's so beyond just the steps, it's so much bigger and it's so much more important. Like,
Yeah.
of course, like sharing the art and like sharing, helping people express like and feel things through the dance is important, but like, you're part of something so much bigger, and I love that. That's so awesome.
Yeah, that's why I feel that like when people one sentence that I don't like at all in the dance world is like I can't. And it's like, no, you can, everybody can. It's just like finding the right place at the right time with the right people to be able to do what you love. Because I mean, if it's not because of trucks, I will not be dancing at all. But thanks to the trucks, I'm having a wonderful career. So I'm pretty happy. So I always believe that things happen when they have to happen.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, well, it is time for our second game. Let me get my little questions. And let me get them off of my sleeping cat. It is on top of
Ah!
all the questions. He's very sad that I am moving them, but he would like to ask you these questions. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to randomly pick one from each color, and then you get to pick
Okay.
which one you want to answer first. And you can always veto if something is too scandalous, but
Okay.
nothing is really too scandalous. Okay, let's see what we get. Ooh, okay. These are some good ones. Okay. Pick a color.
Pink.
Is cereal a soup?
Is zero? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't.
Does
I
this,
don't think
because
that
there's
cereal is a
cold
soup
soup,
because
but there's cold soup, right? I don't
yeah,
know.
but cereal you chew cereal. Soup you are meant
Mmm.
to like
Slurp.
drink it and
Yeah, like you
slurp, you
can't
know?
slurp cereal.
No, I don't think
Yeah.
so. I mean, I never did it. Maybe somebody have done it. No me.
That's interesting. I've never really thought about this. I feel like it could be controversial. We'll have to
Uh-huh.
see what people say. Okay, next color.
Blue.
What is the dumbest thing you've ever done on a dare?
On a dare? Interesting, because I used to play that a lot in ballet school. I guess I don't know. I guess like to run naked in the gardens of the National Ballet School
Oh my
without getting
gosh. Scandal.
super scandalous. We
Oh
were
my
we
gosh.
were such a group. We were a group. Definitely. Can't tell you that.
I love it. Okay, next color.
Uh the gray is that gray?
It's
Is
like a
that purple?
purple. Yeah, purple.
Okay. Purpley.
Ooh,
The
what
purple.
is a dream you've never said out loud?
A dream I never said out loud. Uh a dream I never said out loud.
That's a hard
I
one.
mean, I guess it's not a. I mean, a lot of people know this dream, but a lot of people maybe not. That I wish I was in New York City Ballet. That would be my option B.
Yeah,
Like that would be my ultimate dream to be in New City Ballet. If
yeah.
I knew what City Ballet was when I was a teenager, because I didn't know.
Amazing. Okay, last one of these. What horror fiction character scares you the most? All of them for me. I'm a big scared cat.
Hmm, interesting. Um, who? Oh, fictional character that scares me the most. The Joker. For some reason, I don't like clowns, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a scary clown. The
Yeah,
Joker is not my jam. Don't
yeah,
like him.
yeah. He's not welcome here. No,
Not welcome here.
not at all. Amazing. Well, the last question that I ask everyone is what brings out your most creative self?
I do think that what it brings out my most creative self is always actually other people. I feel that
Mm.
sometimes in rehearsals happens a lot that um when we are doing, for example, now that we are working on Rush of Faye Brilliant by Joshua Fake as a dancer of the company, he's creating this piece for us. Um, it's just like you feel that everybody's so involved in the process because the piece is created on us. That it's just fascinating to me to see everybody's point of view and point of because one of the good things about trucks is that we all come from different schools in different countries. So you see the Cuban technique, the French technique, the American technique, the Spanish technique, like you see so many different people in a room, and I feel that that's what it brings my creative self the most, just to see other people inspire. It kind of inspired me to put my little point of view too, and I feel that that's, I guess, like the beauty of the dance world in general, you know what I mean, like to be able to do things like this, that two dancers that don't know each other at all and like come together and do a project. And I feel that is um such an encouragement for other people to just like maybe stop for a second and get to know other people, and and create good things. I think that that's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the
I
key
love
for me.
that. I love that so much. Yeah, you don't know. Like, who knows what kind of creative masterpieces might be just like waiting under the surface from
Hmm.
a simple hello to a new dancer
Yeah.
that you've never gotten to dance with before or experienced. That's I love that. That's really
And
cool.
jump into a pool. I always say, like, jump into a pool of things that you don't think that you can do. Or right now I'm working on a project with Austin, a guy that I met through my best friend, and he's doing this like piece, and it's like musical theater jazz, and I have never in my life done it. See, I took one class like a year ago for fun, but I never done it like in a as a job, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he offered me this, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, let's do it. Like, let's just dance jazz. I don't know. I guess I
Oh
dance
my gosh.
balancing, so something similar.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. Don't limit
so it's
yourself.
kind of
I'm sure you're
like
going to
it's
do
so
so many
inspiring.
things.
It's inspiring for me to just grab from everybody what they have to say and like create amazing things. And that's why like people is what inspire me the most and make me be more creative, because it it gives you the wings to be able to like fly and see other things.
Mm. And speaking of being creative, how is your shoe coming along? How did
My
it
shoe is
go?
coming pedally pedally.
Oh, yours is nice. Oh, I love it. Mine
Like,
is like so sparkly sad. It
I
looks
love
like
it.
it kind of looks like someone just like tripped backstage and like there was like some hairspray and then they like kind of fell on top of a costume, but maybe like imagine if I just like put them back on and go into class again and maybe having a little sparkle will get me back into the studio. So you never
I
know.
mean, this is definitely a look for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah. I love that. Imagine just go into rehearsal with that and see what they say.
They will be like not surprised. They will not be surprised because every day for me is an outfit.
Oh, I love it.
Every day. I'm well known for it. Every day choosing the right leotard with the right high-low skirt. That's my jam to choose.
Ooh, I love it. Amazing. Well, where can people find you if they want to get in touch, if they want to see you perform on stage since now you're performing and touring all over the world?
Yay! So excited. So people can find me on my Instagram, Cristo Kevin GM, that is listed in the screen, I believe.
Yes.
And then I do have other two Instagrams. One is Dancer World Journey, which is my blog Instagram, and then ballerina underscore makeup. That's where I put all my makeup looks and stuff. Um, and then in my website, dancerworldjourney.com, that's the website of my blog where all my postings, and also there you can find my touring schedule because the company's website is linked to it, so you can check the updated schedule for all the shows, the upcoming shows and upcoming tours. And maybe surprise we're in your town and you can just like come to the theater and have some fun and watch some serious ballet with a little bit
Yes.
of a laugh in the background.
Oh, I love it. When is your next New York performance?
Our next New York performance, I think, is still investigating, but the Joyce Theater, because we canceled for 2 weeks, they want to bring us back. They really, really, really like us because we are an easy company to work with and we are always really excited. So I think next December, next winter, we will have our next shows in New York City. Unfortunately, we don't perform a lot in New York. I would love to perform more, but every 2 years normally happens at the Joyce
Mm.
Theater.
Yeah, amazing. Well, everyone, take a look at that. And Milo, excuse me, sir, you can't be here. Amazing. Well, if you would like to follow me, my personal dance Instagram is Haley Grove. And then definitely check out the Dear Dance Pod Instagram. I'm still adding all the different stuff from all the past guests. So definitely check that out. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening over there. And of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Essentially Haley, where you're watching this video. And it would mean so much to me if you subscribed. And the last thing that I have to plug is the Patreon. And we have 4 amazing patrons. So thank you guys. And when we get to 100 patrons, I'm going to start the Dancer's Dream Grant Project, where I'll be donating $1 per patron every month to a dancer who has a creative project that needs help funding. So if we have 100 patrons, that's $100. If we have 500 patrons, that's $500 that goes to a dancer who needs a little help with their creativity. So definitely check that out, and hopefully you can see us in person one day. I can't wait to see you on stage soon. Maybe I'm gonna have to like travel to Europe so that I can like follow
Yes,
you guys like a
please.
groupie, because I'm down. I
Yeah.
need to go to Spain. I need to work on my pronunciation. I need to learn your full name. So I'm so down. And thank you again so much for being here. This was so
My
fun. I'm so glad
pleasure.
we
It was so
connected.
much fun. Yeah. I'm so
Amazing. Well, have
excited.
a great night, and good night,
Thank
everyone.
you. You too. Bye.